Solutions, and she's here to tell you her story, why she cares about what she does, why that should matter to you. And she is going to share with you some amazing business success tips. So let's turn it over to Lori. Woohoo!
Great to see you all. Great to see you all. So I have a brain tumor. Might be a shock to some of you. The bigger shocker is I am grateful for this brain tumor. I would not be here today. I would not be doing what I love every single day if it wasn't for this brain tumor. Changed my life. I'll tell you a little bit more about that later. Don't worry, I'm okay, but I will share some more later. But first, I really want to thank Colleen for inviting me here today and asking me to speak. And I'm going to try not to get emotional myself, but you know, I met Colleen about 6 months ago, and she has just literally changed my life, my business, my perspective. She's an amazing woman, and Lead Up is an amazing group, and I'm so proud to be part of it. And I just, you know, this event's been so great so far. Everybody just really, please give a round of applause for Colleen and the team. It's really just been such a great week. I'm so excited to be here. I also want to acknowledge you. The fact that you are here on day 3 and that you have spent this time with us, that tells me that you are serious about your personal development and your professional development and growing your business. And you know, it's a lot. This is very time consuming, and it's a commitment of your time. And I acknowledge you for that. And yes. I applaud you for that. So hello. So back to that tumor thing. Back in July 2015, I was newly married. We had moved.
No, it's her hearing that's rushing off. I thought I put it further, but I guess she removed it. So
it was a crazy time in my life. Yeah. About 6 weeks into my new job, I was literally falling asleep at my desk every day, which had never happened in my life. Hold on one sec.
Yeah, Lori, I think your earring is brushing it up against the microphone.
Okay.
Let Ross to take care of that, because we were just getting some static, and I think it's your earring.
Okay.
Go ahead and talk.
Is that better?
Oh, that is so much better.
Right.
Right. Beautiful. We want to hear every word that you have to say.
Not a problem. Not a problem. Thank you so much. Okay, so it's falling asleep at my desk. I went to a brand new doctor. Of course, I'd have a referral because I'm all the way across town. So I go to a new doctor. She runs all these tests. You know, I was thinking I had just come off a super stressful job. I thought it was, adrenal fatigue or something. So she runs all these tests, says, it's probably your thyroid, puts me on thyroid medication. Okay, everything's great. A few weeks later, my left eye starts drooping. And in a matter of weeks, it's blocking my left eye. And I've got double vision while I'm trying to sit at a computer all day. I'm going to my doctor going, now what? Well, her solution is to send me to an eye doctor, which I still just think is hilarious. And he wants to send me to a surgeon to have it surgically fixed before we've ever even figured out why I have this left eye drooping. I didn't go to the surgeon. I went back to the doctor and I'm like, you've got to figure out why. It is unusual to have a thyroid issue and a drooping eye within a month. I would like to know why. And when I shared with her all the research that I came up with because I wanted answers, her answer was, quit researching, it's just stressful. Well, it's stressful having your eye drooping and not knowing what's wrong with you. So she agreed to do an MRI, basically to make me feel better. And she's like, I'm sure it's nothing serious. It's not a brain tumor or something. Okay. So later that day, while my husband is out of town for business, I'm sitting alone in the MRI office. She gives me a call and she says, you have a meningioma and you need to go see a neurosurgeon as soon as possible. And I'm like, a what? a brain tumor. And don't you know, it killed her to say that. So fast forward to September 2015. I've met with the neurosurgeon. They've looked at the tumor. They know they can't fully remove it. It's now become part of my carotid artery. But they want to go in and just get it a little bit off that optical nerve and make room for radiation. Okay, sounds great. So I was supposed to be back to work in 2 to 4 weeks. Go in for surgery. Sorry, I kind of skipped ahead a little bit there. I go in for surgery. They go in within minutes, they nick my carotid. So now we're not worried about getting the tumor off my pituitary and my optical nerve. Now we're worried about a brain bleed, which is, you know, of course, what my husband wanted to hear from the lobby, that, you know, we're now fixing a brain bleed. So in that brain bleed, some debris broke off and mostly blinded my left eye. I woke up the next day, and or I guess it was later that day, and I had like this whale diving down my eye. That's all I could see. I couldn't control it, had horrible double vision, pretty much cried for the next 3 days. The neurosurgeon was like, you know, why do you cry every time I come in? I'm like, because I want this to be fixed. I want my vision back. What did you do? And he was absolutely convinced it would come back. It still hasn't come back. So then 5 days later, I had the second surgery where they did what they needed to do. So again, I was supposed to be back to work in 2 to 4 weeks. In 2 weeks, I was still in the hospital. In 4 weeks, I was at home and barely functioning. I was kind of walking around like this because they put this coil in my head and then held by this thing that looked like a shoehorn. 4 weeks later, I went back and they took this thing out of my head and it was literally like this. I'm like, well, no wonder I was walking around like this. I felt like I got a brick in my head. So 12 weeks later, my boss, who I still adore to this day, had to let me go because she needed someone in my position and I had no idea when I was going to be going back to work. In early 2016, I went through 29 rounds of radiation. I was put on disability and I was contemplating my future. I had horrible headaches 24/7. Excuse me. I had double vision. I was wearing a patch over my glasses most of the time. I had very low tolerance for stress. So it was very clear to me early on that I wasn't going back to work anytime soon, especially not as an IT project manager, which is a very high stress job. I also was struggling from communication, from words. And you might find today that this is going to happen. So just laugh it off like I do. I might, call a computer a crocodile. It just happens. I substitute wrong words, or I'll sit here for 5 minutes trying to find a word because it's just not there. So, that affected my self-confidence in, how am I gonna, I've always been a great speaker. I've always been a great communicator. And here I am, how am I gonna do this when I can't communicate properly? Honestly, it affected me even coming here today. Was I going to mess up in front of you guys, not remembering what I was going to say? Because my memory has also been horribly affected. But you know what? It's like we've talked about all week. We've got to be vulnerable. We've got to show our real selves. And so I just sucked it up and came. So I'm sitting there at home on disability, stressed, frustrated, headaches, but I don't know what the definition of lazy is. It's just not in my vocabulary. During that time, during the day, I never turned on the TV. I would either listen to books or I would get on Udemy and take all the courses I could possibly take, trying to find that thing that I could do on my own to be productive, but do it when I felt like I could do it. I had a technology background. So when I discovered website building, wow, I was so excited. There was what I was looking for. I had worked for companies and doing every job you could in IT. My last job was an IT project manager over a very large website build. I was also the testing manager. So I was very involved in the website, but I'm not a coder and I didn't build those websites. So when I first got started, I decided to build a site on Squarespace about my tumor and just, medical blogging type of stuff. And it was just, I knew right then, this is my passion. This is what I was meant to do. And I'm going to be doing this for the rest of my life. Honestly, not expecting to ever turn it into a business or a real business, because I really didn't think I was going to ever be able to fully function again. So I found my passion. But as you all know, the story doesn't end there. You don't get to build a business just on being passionate about something. You've got to implement some tools to make that work. So that's what I'm going to talk to you guys about today. Whether you are in that 40% of businesses that is still losing money every year, or you're in that 30% of businesses, small businesses that's breaking even every year, or you're just looking to build your business and go to that next level, these steps are going to apply to you. So we're going to go to slides. We're going to go through this. Rasa, can you do the side too? Catch it up to the same slide. Oh, is that all I need to do? Thank you. All right. So number one, find your passion. I love Oprah Winfrey's quote, "Passion is energy. Feel the power that comes from focusing on what excites you." You've got to figure it out. You got to find and define that passion. If we don't feel passionate about what we do, the rest of it's so much harder to put into place. I want to tell you a story kind of back on my IT background, my technology background. When I discovered this passion and discovered that I could build websites, which by the way was pretty amazing because it pulled together my technology background, my process background, my project management, my organizational, and my creativity, something I'd never had in a job before. I got to be creative. So I was talking to some of my former coworkers, mostly coders, and I told them what I was doing. And they're like, "That's not website development. You're not going to be able to build a business doing that. What are you thinking?" And you know what? Doesn't matter, because I knew that most small businesses don't have $20, $30, $40, $200,000 to spend on a website for a custom coded website, which is what they were doing. I knew that small businesses needed somebody to build something that they could support themselves. I'd worked with small businesses for over 30 years. This was my second small business. I knew there was a market for this. So my point in that is, when you find your passion, if it's not mainstream and it's not supported by your friends and family that probably don't even understand what you're talking to them about, don't give up. Do your research, do what you need to do, and pursue that passion if you know that it's something that you can make money doing and build a business doing. I want to tell you a story about a friend of mine that's also a client. She may even be on here today, I'm not sure. Her name is Ginger. We have done SEO, scheduling software, and various other things for her website over the last 3 years. And she has been such an inspiration to me. She left the military a few years ago and joined corporate America in an HR job, making really good money. But it wasn't her passion. She really wanted to have her own business, and she's an incredible artist. She really wanted to use her artistic skills. So she heard about someone in town selling a yard card business. Many of you may know what that is or not. It's where you rent yard cards to come out and they put them up on your yard for a happy birthday, happy anniversary, big celebration. It's getting really popular since COVID. And it does require a certain amount of creativity to make those sets look really cool. And she does an incredible job with it. And she built a great business. She was able to leave her full-time job and she built the business, but it wasn't enough. She still wasn't getting that hands-on artistic ability. And she realized that the cards were just not the quality that she wanted. They weren't creative enough. They weren't unique enough. And she thought, you know, I could make cards that are so much better. So what'd she do? She called up a friend in the business, pitched the idea. They started Yard Card Supply, an unfranchised business that supplies yard cards to other companies all across the country. She did it 18 months ago. She works full-time in the business. Her husband works full-time in the business. Her partner works full-time in the business. Her partner's husband works full-time in the business. And they have 3 other employees in a year and a half. And every day she gets to do what she loves doing, which is designing these phenomenal yard cards and using her business genius to go to the next level. That's what passion can do for you. How come I can't get to the next slide? Oh, go back. Where's number 2? Where's number 2? I got number 3. Where's number 2? Can you get me there? Got number 3. It's a good number 2. Boy, we are struggling with number 2. Huh. Well, it's like the slide just disappeared. Well, I guess we'll leave it here and I will talk to you guys about number 2. How about that? So number 2 is see and be seen. We've talked a lot about this over the last few days. And honestly, guys, I wrote my speech before I knew what was going to be talked about this week. So you're going to hear a lot of the same information, but hopefully that just reinforces for you how important all of this is. So see and be seen is getting you and your business out there in front of other people. Networking. Networking is more about farming than it is about hunting. It's about cultivating relationships. That's from Dr. Ivan Misner, the founder of BNI, which is the world's largest networking organization. I'm sure you've all heard of them. Networking is not about quick, small sales. It is not about walking into a room like Colleen described and throwing your cards at everyone and walking back out. It is building relationships. It is getting people to know you so they can buy from you because they buy from know, like, and trust. But you can't go in with the goal of I'm just going to sell. It's about those relationships. It's about listening to everyone else and what they need, like Colleen has demonstrated for us so many times. It's about getting to know what you can do to help others, working together, and it's about showing up. I cannot tell you how many times I have been in networking groups and heard of people leaving because they didn't get anything out of it. And if you ask them, well, how many meetings did you go to? How much follow-up did you do? How often were you there? You'll usually find they went once, maybe twice. What I recommend is you find a networking group like Lead Up that you can get involved in. You show up for the Teaching Tuesdays. You show up for the meetings. You show up every opportunity you have and you get involved. You don't sit there hidden on the screen. You show your face. You leave messages in the chat and you're the first person that talks in that breakout session, just like we heard yesterday. You get seen because being seen is how people get to know, like, and trust you. I would limit your networking groups to just a couple that fit your mold, whether they're men and women or just women or in person or online or local or national, whatever you feel you can commit your time to. Because again, it's about forming relationships. When I moved to Yulee, Florida in 2017, we moved there to reduce our cost of living because we didn't know what was going to happen with me and my career. We wanted to be closer to the beach and we wanted to enjoy life because we were out of the rat race. When we moved there, we didn't know anybody. We didn't know anybody. I think we knew one person in the state of Florida. We didn't know a soul. And here I am trying to build a business. So what I did is, I don't even know if this is still on Facebook, but at the time on Facebook, there was a thing called Discover, and you could get on there and you could find people in your town. And I got on there and looked for women in Yulee that I thought I could relate to. And I found a woman that said, you've got to come check out this networking group. And I go, and I was blown away. It was so different from every networking group I'd ever been to. I mean, the minute she said networking group, I'm like, oh, I hate pitching myself. I hate doing all that. Well, this group is not about that. It's about relationships. We go out, we have lunch, we have girls' nights out, we have meetings that are fun. We really don't even pass cards because it's relationship building. I can count on less than one hand, probably two fingers, how many times I've had a sales conversation with anyone from that group. But almost all of my business for the last 4 years has come from that group, from referrals, from leads, from people in the group. I can actually sit back and almost every single person I know in my town came from that group, from going down the line. It's been amazing. But early this year, I said, you know, I've kind of tapped out my local network. I kind of need to go national. It's time to go to that next level. It's time to make this business real. So I started seeking out national groups. And I found a couple, Lead Up being one of them, and transition to that national. But it's the same thing. You still got to show up. You still got to build the relationships. No, I'm not doing the in-person as much. I'm on with you guys on the Teaching Tuesdays, on the Thursdays, on the meetings, any opportunity that I can get, because that's what it's all about. Aha. Number 3, find and nurture your guide and tribe. Again, Colleen's talked about this a lot, but I can't stress it enough. We are not superwomen. I'm not superwoman. I can't do it all on my own. I don't know everything. I can't do everything. I have a great deal of knowledge. I have 30 years experience in business. I know a lot, but I don't know it all. And I need advice, support, help. I need a tribe. It's so important. Your tribe is your support system. And your guide is that mentor or coach that's there for guidance that you can turn to and say, I have no idea what to do. It's what this coaching is that Colleen is talking about. That is your, potentially, if you're interested, your tribe and your guide. And it's very important that you have both. It's pretty critical. Number 4, make sure your digital marketing hub is in order. Your hub is the center of your business. Any of you know Katrina Sawa? She says this a lot. I love it. It is so true. And your website is that hub. Your website has to do more than look pretty. It does have to look pretty. Don't get me wrong. It needs to look pretty, but it also needs to be functional. And when I say functional, I mean your website needs to bring people in and engage them, work them through the funnel, and turn them into customers. With 4.66 billion active internet users and 3.5 billion searches every day, and 85% of the United States having access to the internet, you have to consider your digital marketing hub. Your customers are online. Even if you're not online, your customers are online. They are looking for you online. So it's so critical that you have that digital marketing hub in order. Your hub is not your social media. Let me back up. Ignoring online marketing is like opening a business but not telling anyone. And that's from Anonymous. And I'm just going to share with you. I noticed online that there are 1 million people that take credit for this quote, which I find interesting, but technically it's anonymous. So it's so true though, especially in today's world. You've got to get it out there. But again, your hub is not your social media. Why is it not your social media? I mean, my gosh, Facebook, you can set appointments and you can do sales through Facebook and you can communicate through Facebook. Why can't it be Facebook? Well, there's a couple of reasons. Number one, you don't own what happens on Facebook. You don't own your contacts on Facebook. And that's critical because the whole point in all of this is to build your email list, to build your relationships, to communicate ongoing with people. And if you don't have that, you can't do that. I'm going to use an example from my friend Heshi. She's been building a business for several years, and she has a Facebook group. How many of you have Facebook groups? Raise your hand. It's great. Facebook groups are awesome. It is such a great way to communicate people, but you can't stop there. Heshi had stopped there, had built over 3,000 contacts in her Facebook group, and then she got hacked. And then Facebook got involved and they shut down her group. And all those contacts that she had built over 2 to 3 years were gone. You don't want to be like Heshi. You've got to own your contacts. You've got to bring those in to a central area that you own, that you can track, and that you can continue to keep in touch with those folks. So what is digital marketing? I hear this a lot. Like, what do you mean by digital marketing? Digital marketing is basically anything we do online to promote our business. So your website, email marketing, reputation management, which is a fancy way of saying helping you with your reviews and increasing your reviews, online advertising, Google ads, Facebook ads, Instagram ads, blogs and podcasts, videos, social media, and more. That's your hub. I mean, that's your digital marketing, all going back and driving to your hub, your website, that then gets to your email list, and then you work that process of the email marketing. So the very first thing that you need to do before we even get started on doing your marketing hub, doing your website. I mean, this is the first thing I tell any of my clients. First thing I ask is, who is your customer avatar? Who is your buyer persona, your typical customer? There's a million words for it. We worked a little bit on this yesterday. It is so important to understand your customer because you've got to speak their language. You've got to do your colors and your branding to what they respond to. So the first thing you've got to do to define your customer avatar is ask yourself, who is my typical customer? I don't know if anyone's noticed the Olay commercials lately, but I kind of laugh every time I hear them. They say, we're for anyone with skin. So basically every human being on earth. You as a small business owner are not going to be working with everyone with skin. You've got to narrow it down. It's really hard to market if you're marketing to the world. So you want to define that person. And I mean person, like that person is standing right here in front of you. Where do they shop? What do they look for? What are they attracted to visually? What words and phrases do they use? And if you don't know, if you can't figure that out, go to your main customers, the people you have relationships with. Ask them to talk to you about why they came to you. And the next thing that's so crucial are the pain points. What pain does my product or service fix? So ask your customers, you know, I probably should know this, but I really want your input. Why are you using me? What is your pain? What is that thing that you feel like I provide to you? Because it's really important to know that, because you can't speak their language and you can't solve their problems if you don't know what their problems are. And those words and phrases and colors probably don't seem that important. But again, know, like, and trust, and you attract like-minded, and you attract with your words. So define that. And like Colleen talked about yesterday, define who you're not going to work with as well. The next important thing is your call to action, your CTA. the point here is when people are coming to your website, if you don't have, if your business isn't like easy, cheap, cheap isn't the right word, but low cost items, like if someone's coming out to your website to buy $5 items or less than $100 items, this probably isn't relevant. But if you've got high-end items that people are not going to buy from your website right off the bat, your goal is to get an easy yes with them. Think of it as the first date. When you try to sell someone your $2,000 package before you've ever met, that's like going on a first date and saying you want them to marry you. You've got to do that in steps. Well, this easy yes is that first step in the process. And that easy yes is offering a freebie that is very important, that is valuable to your potential customer. So again, you know their pain points. So you know what you have that can help them and be of value. If it's 5 tips for something that everyone in the world knows, why would they give you their email address for that? Why would they even bother? I know my first one, I showed it to Katrina and she was like, oh Lord. I've had to work on this too. So it's really important that you've got that freebie. And I'm going to say here, and I know there's going to be some disagreement on this, but I'm going to say a free 15-minute call, I don't consider a good freebie. I don't consider that the call to action that you want. Most people are going to consider that a sales call, no matter what you call it. If it's a discovery session, a breakthrough session, a whatever session, they know it's a sales call. You want to have that option on there. Don't get me wrong. You want people to be able to go and talk to you for 15 minutes. Absolutely. But the freebie should be something they really find valuable and that they can get without having to talk to you. Because, you know, people are usually kind of shy at first and they want to get to know, like, and trust you. So we want that freebie to be of value, and we want an easy yes. And then we want that to go to a landing page where we can tell them more and engage them more. And then a thank you page so that they feel like they have joined something and they're part of something. And you start that process and then you do the email marketing and you continue. I'm going to show you a couple of examples here. So this is actually from the Lead Up website. This is the opt-in for Lead Up's magazine. So you go out, this is the opt-in. You go out and you claim my magazine. They collect your email address and they take you to the next page, which is the landing page. There we go. Here you find out more about the free magazine and there's more information on the page and why you would want this. And then once you've done that, we go to the thank you page and you learn more about Lead Up and more about the opportunities. There's even a video on here telling you why you would want to join the community. So it builds and gives you more information, but it's not overwhelming. Colleen doesn't have her group coaching session on this page, sign up for this. That would be going straight to marriage. We're looking at the membership, the first step in the piece. Next thing I want to talk about is search engine optimization, SEO. I'm not going to spend too long on this. We went over it in detail during our training Tuesday. But the first thing I'm going to tell you is it's critical. Showing up as close to the top as possible in relevant searches is very important. And it's also very complex. So understand that a lot of times you might need to pay somebody to get that SEO where you want it. And I will share this. I did share it in the Teaching Tuesday, but I'll share it again. You can't pay to get on top. Doesn't matter how much money you have, you cannot pay to get there. Google themselves has over 7,000 websites, and even they have to apply the SEO techniques to be showing up at the top. But there are many things you can do. You can Get reviews, get high quality reviews, and get consistent reviews. You can use relevant, current, keyword rich material. You can regularly post to your Google My Business, especially images. You can do blogs and podcasts and videos with text with keywords associated with them to draw people in. And YouTube is really powerful there. And the most important thing that Heather mentioned the other day, and I'm going to mention again, is security. If you don't have the lock at the top of your website, you need it. It's mandatory. Google ignores websites that aren't secure because it's so critical. So, and if you don't know how to do it, reach out to your web developer and get that certificate. Get it in place today. It's that critical. So by now you know the 4 critical steps to build and grow your business. You know how to find your passion, be seen, find and build your guide and tribe, and have your digital marketing in order. And you know that these are all key to success in your business. By now you also know that your website is the hub of your digital marketing and the center of all of this activity. It draws those prospects in. It keeps their attention. It engages them. It moves them to the next level. It keeps your customers coming back because there's so much rich material, and converts those customers to those prospects to clients. Sorry, I kind of made the room a little cold, and Colleen's not very happy with me. I was burning up when I came in. Sorry about that, Colleen. No, I knew. I was like, I told her, I said, tell me before I leave. I got to fix this because I know she's going to be freezing. I'm very hot-blooded. Oh, okay. So I want to help you all get your digital hub in order. So I've got a free gift for you. I want everybody to look under your chair for your free gift. Sorry, I've always wanted to say that. I saw that. Oh, I just wanted to say that so bad. Obviously, we couldn't do that today, but I do have a great offer for you. I normally charge almost $600, and I'm giving it to you today for over 15% off for $497. What we will do is we will build your opt-in, and we will build your landing page, and we will build your thank you page. So even if you already have a freebie in place, we'll build you another freebie, and we'll work with you to get that process set up because it is so critical in your digital marketing hub. And I'm going to show you just a couple of quick examples here. Dr. Kimberly Ann is a client of mine. She's a holistic psychologist, and she started a business earlier this year, and this is her opt-in. With this, you can get your 5 steps to connect to your inner wisdom. So you do the download, and then we go to the landing page. So here you see, and you always want your picture on your landing page so they see you. You get to know this beautiful woman, Dr. Kimberly Ann. I love her to death. You get to know a little bit more about her, a little bit more about why you want this download and how it can help you. And then further down the page, you get the download. Once you download, we go to the thank you page. Here, she's welcoming you to the community and encouraging you and telling you again why not only will this freebie help you, but how she can help you. And then what comes next? How do you reach me? How do you do my discovery call? How can you get a hold of me? And what are the options that I have for you? So we do that with the thank you page. Next page. There we go. Okay. So with our opt-in special, again, it's worth it. It's almost $600. It's definitely worth it at $497. We set up that opt-in. We build your landing page, and we build your thank you page. But if you act today, because I always want to reward those who act fast, I will also do a free custom image, a free graphic of your freebie. So if you have tips or anything, a coupon, anything that you need a graphic for, I will build that for you to incorporate into this process. And that is all we've got, folks. So I hope I've helped you all today. I hope you've got a better understanding of what you need to do to build that business. And without further ado, I want to ask Colleen to come back to the stage. Love this woman who's freezing to death.
With my blanket on.
I feel so bad. God, I love this woman.
Okay.
Oh my
It's like
gosh.
68 degrees in here. Do you guys know? Like, I can't do that.
I
I'm
know.
freezing. I walked in there. I was like, I'm shaking.
I felt so bad.
So I grabbed my blanket.
But you know what? I instantly started sweating the minute you turned it up.
Yeah. Oh, did you really? Oh my God. I walked in and
I'm
I was
like
like,
Darren
why
over
am I
here.
shaking? And then he was like, I looked at the air and it's super cold.
And he's
So-
like pointing to her, pointing to me. It's her
I know
fault.
it's
her
a little
fault.
warmer out here when the lights are on you, but I just have to say, like, everyone's laughing. This is my Mexico blanket that I got from Mexico that I keep in my car that I take to the movie theaters with me.
You're just
So,
wearing it because
I'm
it matches.
a prepared woman. I am a prepared woman. Let's just say, right? Yeah, you got to do. All right. How many of you fell for that joke where she said, "Look under your seat"? Claire did. She was like, "Yeah." Katrina, she was like, Jerry Lynn, thank you for having your daughter. Oh my gosh, she's
I
so
love
adorable.
it.
Look at that. Oh, she's so cute. Yeah, I just thought that was hilarious that she said that, because I would have been one like, how the hell, like Santa Claus, how the hell did they get into how did she put that underneath my chair, right? So funny. I know, so funny. Isn't she amazing, you guys? Come on, let's give her some love. She's
Thank you.
awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So I actually, here's, the power of networking. Remember I said your network is your net worth, power of networking. I met her at a networking event and I was attracted to her immediately. And we just, again, right when I went into the room, what did I do? Said hi to everyone, took control of the room,
Yep.
asked people to keep time, and went around and she was like, I really like you. And I was like, I really like you too. Like there's an energy, but there was just something about our energy, right? With each other. And that's how you get people in your circle. And look at her now. I mean, she's done the Teaching Tuesday. Have you been on my podcast yet?
I have.
She's been on
And,
the
you know,
podcast.
and I forgot to mention, I had in my notes to mention your magazine, because I believe my article is in July, August edition.
Yeah, which is going to be coming out. But
Yes.
apparently my publishers and everyone has been trying to contact me. And I'm like, I'm a little busy right now. So I'm sorry, I'm not, I'm trying to like launch a best-selling book and a 3-day event. So if you guys can handle that would be great, right? Men, I swear. But anyway.
Well, when it comes out, I've got an
Yeah.
article in there.
Yeah. So then she has an article in the magazine. So Lori, since the day that she got into the Lead Up for Women, has completely stepped up and taken advantage of every single spotlight. And look where she is today. Now she's on the stage here at the 3-day event for the LEAP event. I mean, this is awesome that she's taken that next step. So congratulations. You're a dear
you.
friend of mine. I will take off my blanket now. I'll warm up out here with the lights.
You turned it up, right?
I did. I turned it up.
Thank
Or
you
I
so
will be out here
much.
like shaking with icicles coming off of
Do you
my,
need this?
yeah, I'll hold on to that. So, all right. Thank you so much.